Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Unblocking Your Magic. I'm your host, Sarah Solman of Lightworker Rising. I am so excited to connect with y'all today. And if you have ever done one of these with me before, I am nervous always at the beginning. If we're in groups together, in the first call or two, I am, but always in a new group like this. And so I might be fanning myself a bit. Just know I'm nervous and I appreciate the safe space that you all provide for me as I hold space for you to do this thing and show up anyway. So I'm not going for perfection here, just and I know you're not holding me to that either, and I thank you. But I'm excited about this call and what we're going to talk about. What I'm hoping is that obviously we're not going to in this setting work through every single block that everyone has, and you just don't have the block anymore. But what I'm hoping is that it doesn't have this hold on you, that you're not shackled by the blocks anymore, that your wheels are spinning of, okay, maybe I've been looking at this in a different way, and your wheels start spinning, and your highest self and your body and your spirit team are all coming together to help create some space around what has been blocking you, around moving forward, embracing your magic, sharing your gifts. So I would really just get some cracks in there where some light can come in, create some space for some shifts in your beliefs, in your energy, and knowing like, hey, maybe I can put myself out there a little bit more and just feel a little bit safer, have more trust in yourself and your team and the process. And that's what I'm hoping for. So if by the end of this call, you have some cracks, there's some space created, I feel like you came, you did the work. This is great. I'm going to say that's a victory. And if you feel inspired to actually take action from here, like, oh my gosh, crazy, amazing, but that's not the expectation that we're going to have this, 90-minute call and you're like, now I'm ready to fly. Which is interesting because that's what we're going to talk about today is how to actually do that and work at your own pace and get moving forward in a way that feels safe, because that might not really feel safe. And if you are just a leaper, sometimes we see that, and that causes us to coil back and we get into imposter syndrome and all these other blocks as well. And so there is an art to this. Yay. Hello, everyone. That's just coming in now. All right. I'm going to keep moving forward. So that's what I'm hoping for today. Also, I'm just going to tell you straight off the bat, I've done a lot of calls like this, and you probably participated in calls like this yourself, of where it's like, here's this amazing gift I want to give you, or some content. Let's work through something. And then at the end, there's like this sales pitch. So it goes, it's like two separate calls. It's like, here's this. And then like, oh, let me put on this different hat. And now here's my infomercial about what I'm up to. And, I've always, you'll see, as nervous as I am just talking about the things I love, I I shift and get even more nervous. And I'm like, how do I shift into this? And so honestly, I'm just saying, fuck it today. And that's not what this is going to be. But I do have something coming up. And so I'm probably just going to sprinkle some info about that as we go, because what we're working on today is what I'm going to be working on in that offering, which is the Lightworker Circle. So I'm just going to probably mention it throughout of like, hey, this is something we work on in the Lightworker Circle, rather than, hey, let's get through this part and then have a whole different conversation, which is like me marketing, and it doesn't feel as authentic and comfortable to me. And so I hope that feels good to everybody. So I'm just going to kind of sprinkle in what the Lightworker Circle is, because it does help with all these things, because I love it. I'm excited about it. And then I don't have the pressure of knowing, okay, watching the clock. Okay, now I need to put on my hat, this other hat, and be in this role. So I'm just feeling like integrating and embracing it all together, which I've never done. So this will be exciting to see how it works, and hopefully we get the info out. And then if you have any questions about the Lightworker Circle at the end, We will have some time for questions or about any of the content today. All right. Normally, also, at the beginning of these calls, we start with kind of our grounding, a little bit of visualization. I'm going to sprinkle that more in the middle today once we're all getting comfortable, because I want to have a conversation about gifts versus magic before we go deep into this space of what our magic is. Like, I want you're already thinking logically. I'm not one of those that know me. I think we mostly know each other. So it's like the gang's back together. Where it's like, okay, you have to get completely out of your head and into your heart to know what's up. I find the sweet spot is where logic meets intuition, where you start with your heart, but you get your mind on board, or you already have some space in your brain for what your heart says, and you're not sabotaging it the whole time. So I want to have that conversation first. We'll work a little bit backward, but I do want everyone, including myself, because clearly I'm levitating and, and talking so fast. I do want us to be grounded for this, but if you're open to it, I would just love to ground you all and wrap you all in protection. It will just take a moment here, and then we'll do more of our dropping in visualization in just a little bit. So if you are comfortable with that and you're open to that, just go ahead, shake it out. Just connecting with your body. Settle into your seat, into your breath. You can close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. And just declare that you're open to me holding you in this energy and helping ground you. And just be curious and see how it feels to have someone else do the work of grounding your energy and wrapping you in protection. I call upon my spiritual team, all of our spiritual teams, to hold this space. I call upon Mother Earth. Call upon your highest selves to be present and anchoring into the earth. Right here, right now, grounded, protected, wrapping you in a beautiful, brilliant white light with golden threads above, below, all around. Wrapping each of you in this space and this light. You are grounded and protected. Let's intend that we stay open and curious. Our spiritual teams are holding this space. They lean back into their arms, their wings, their energy. Feel it. Ease and peace within and around you, with the breath in together and out. We open the space. Okay. Hopefully everyone's feeling a bit more grounded now, and we will go into it. All right. I want to talk about gifts versus magic. Hopefully everyone has a piece of paper or phone or something if you want to take a couple notes for yourself. I'm finding that a lot of us are blocked around gifts. We're so focused on figuring out what our gifts are, what our talents are, that we're kind of missing the mark. Because what I'm feeling like the gifts are, those are the tools. That's the how-to. But what is your magic? And when we're so concerned about what the gifts are, I don't have any gifts, I don't know what my gifts are, we're trying to think of something that can be learned, that can be taught, that you can have education around, that can be strengthened, and just saying, oh, if I just don't have this automatic talent, or this tool that I just know how to do, and I feel like authority in it and an expert at, then what do I have? Does anyone else feel like that? Like you're blocked by this idea of what are my gifts? What are my tools? Yeah. And so how does that, and please use the chat, how does that connect with you when I say it in this way? When I talk about that this isn't something, some people say, oh, I'm just born with this, but everyone's born with magic. Everyone's born with the ability to connect, to tap into their intuition. But it's those that tend to that where you grow, where you get unstuck. Yes. Yeah, you get stuck there. So we get stuck up in the what is my gift? What is my tool? And what I want to say is that let's put that down for a minute, because that is this huge, huge block. And let me try to, maybe I can describe to you in the Lightworker Circle. Here's the first time, all right, what did I say? We're going to try this out. In Lightworker Circle, we're doing something new where I'm going to have a one-on-one session with you. I'm also going to make a pre-recorded message for you where I'm going to tap into your energy, get a vision of you, mirror back your magic, and actually have a vision for you spreading your magic through a gift, through tools that Spirit's going to help me download, and I'm going to share that with you. So I'm really excited. That's something new in the program for those that have done it before. So I'm really excited about that. But that's a gift that I have, is to help people see. And that's a gift that I have practiced. I wasn't just born with seeing visions of people and knowing how it works and tapping into Spirit. I've practiced that. I've held space using that gift. And so I've strengthened it. I just haven't always had that gift as my tool. But because I hold space for people and I practice it, it's getting stronger and stronger to where now I can confidently say, come do this with me, and I'm going to be able to share this with you. Where sometimes it used to work and sometimes it didn't, and I didn't know how it worked or when it would pop up. And I definitely didn't have any confidence around it, but I cultivated confidence because I've been using it. But that is a gift. That's a tool. And that's where a lot of you are getting blocked around. But what I also am going to do in that circle, or if we work together, maybe we'll have this opportunity, is to help you first see your magic, because that's what is so special about you. The gift, the tool, that's how you're going to help people experience your magic. Hopefully this makes sense. If we have questions as we go, or if anyone has questions, please let me know. Okay. So I'm going to share a little bit what I think my magic is. And you know what? Whether or not you agree, that doesn't really matter. Maybe like, that's not your magic, or this is your magic. This is what, even when I'm going to share it with you, you're going to have to discern what is the truth. I'm just going to say what I see. I'm going to hold up a mirror. So what I have discovered is my magic is that I can help people with clarity around what their gifts and magic are, clarity around who, what, where to share them, just clarity in general. That's one of my magic. I help people with clarity. I help people with confidence in themselves and their gifts in any area. And I help, sorry, people are joining. I have to let everybody in. Okay. So clarity, confidence is my magic. Helping people in moving forward in an aligned way that's for them, that honors where they are, where they're going. And therefore people feel happier, more successful in where they are. So for me, I think my magic is helping people with clarity, confidence, and moving forward. I really think that's what it boils down to. I think that's when I'm in my magic, the gifts and tools that I have are to help people with that. And we get hung up on what's the gift or tool, but nobody comes to me for the gift or tool. You don't care that I can pull an oracle card as much as that I can help you with clarity and confidence, that I can help you in seeing your path and moving forward. They can help you get unstuck and move forward in a way that is aligned specific to you, where part of my magic is seeing that not everyone's one size fits all, and I can really see what might resonate with you the most. So that's it. Clarity, confidence, moving forward. I think that's my magic. Now, how do I get you there? Those are the gifts. Helping you connect with your highest self, helping you connect with spirit, helping you be in collaboration with spirit, mirroring your magic and possibilities and visions for you. That's a gift. Um, the tools that I have, right? Oracle cards or pendulums, speaking with spirit, having visions, tools, and mindset tools. That's the big one for me. Mindset, I have a bazillion, my toolbox with mindset tools. It's so big. So helping, but all of that is for the purpose of sharing my magic. It's not for the purpose of, right? I do energy work, I do healing work. That's a gift, a tool that I've developed. That's not my magic. Does anyone see, like, understanding this concept of the difference between the gift and magic, and how when you're tapped into your magic, we can all of a sudden start moving into what are the gifts, tools that I already have that I want to develop, that are out there that I could learn, that could help people with what I'm here to do. And as we start seeing this, we see that our magic is like our purpose. The gifts, tools are not. There's a bazillion of them. And what's aligned with us to use today might not be what we want to use tomorrow. Okay. You know what? My dog is outside just barking to get in. So I'm going to go let Bear. So blow your mind. Take some notes about this, about what you might think your magic is. All right. What you might think your magic is. Think about how you show up, who you are in relationships and work when you're at your very best. What is your magic? What kind of space do you hold for people? Okay. Thank you for that. Bear has trained me very well, where he goes outside, then he barks, he comes in, he gets a treat. And so he's playing this, let's go outside to bark to come in to get a treat sound. Ah, he's got me. All right. We're going to go more into this magic in just a moment. So let's put down your pen, because right now, who had some blocks trying to figure out your magic right now? Writing it down. And I'm going to tell you why those of you that maybe you have a little bit, or you're feeling, and if you're not, oh my God, it's amazing. But if you are having blocks figuring out your magic, sometimes what happens is because what were you just trying to do just there? Figure it out on your own. Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to collaborate with spirit in a few minutes and lighten that load. We put so much pressure and weight on ourselves. That's a huge block. We talk about unblocking our magic, the theme of this call, embracing these gifts or whatever it might be. A lot of the time is because we're trying to figure it all out ourselves. And that's exhausting. We can't trust our mind and everything we think, but we're like, oh, I know that every thought I think isn't true. Thank God, right? But I'm going to give my mind all the credit to figure out this most important thing that is like going to set me free. That's the meaning of all of it. That's my purpose and reason for being here, so that I'm going to get forward. I'm going to give all that power to my mind, even though my mind's full of shit. So we all do it. It's okay. That's why we have these conversations, and why where my magic comes in, because I'm going to help with that clarity bit. How I'm going to do it, I'm going to use a gift, a tool, which is helping you connect with your spiritual team. And then your spiritual team, we're going to listen and let them tell us what our magic is, and just relax into that. So that's the visualization I was telling you all about that we're going to do. Yeah, I think let's just go. I think it's a good time to go into that. So now you know what to expect, what this visualization is. I invite you to take a minute to get comfortable. If you want to turn on a light, if you want to go lay down on your floor or your bed, um, uncross your legs, like whatever feels comfortable to you, because we're going to drop in and connect. So, one moment. I've been sick on all these calls, y'all, with the kindergarten germs. Oh my. Okay, inviting everyone to join me in getting comfortable. Before we start, I'm just going to share, we're going to go into a space where we are going to kind of a different reality, where we're the center and we're going to be surrounded by our spiritual team, kind of in our own council of light. And so I just invite you to be really open in this process. And also, if you feel like it's not working, um, to just not be hard on yourself. Show yourself some gentleness and compassion. Keep, trying to come back. And if not, just have a moment to relax and know that you can come back if in a different time, maybe with less distractions, and try it again. Or maybe it will be easier for you if I'm not speaking and you just want to create a quiet space for yourself later. But I do ask that everyone sits or lays down, closes your eyes. We're going to take a deep breath in together, a deep breath out, another deep breath in, filling all the way up with air. All of your body, keep going, going, going. Can't take any more breath in, and then push it all the way out, even more than you took in. You automatically feel your lungs fill back up after you push it all out. And then push it back out after you're filled up again. Do two more like that. This breath is creating space in your body. It's naturally helping you get more present. Be right here, right now, as you focus on your breath. Notice how you feel in your body, feeling any energy coursing through it after you do those deep breaths. If there's any areas of tightness or constriction, inviting you to do a little intuitive movement or take a breath in that area, sending it a little love. As you start to deepen into the space of relaxation, softening the lines between your brows, softening the lines around your mouth, opening your mouth slightly, releasing your jaw. If it feels comfortable and natural to do, you might want to touch the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth, an area where energy sometimes escapes us. If it's not comfortable, just let your tongue relax. Find ease in your breath. Keep relaxing down your neck, inviting you to pull your shoulders back and drop them down slightly, feeling your wings coming out and touching behind you. And as you do, notice how this is a chest opening position, how your heart space opens. Breathing into your heart space, feeling the energy coming out from your heart space, filling your aura in the room with your light. Here you are centering in your heart space. Yeah, keep going down, relaxing your body, telling your highest self it is safe to drop in, Squeezing your palms at the top of your legs. This is my body. I am right here, right now. Continue to relax down to the soles of your feet. They're planted on the ground. You might want to move them around, activating those foot chakras to help you feel even more grounded and present in the moment. If your feet aren't on the ground, simply contract, expand your feet, flex and extend, curl your toes just for a minute, activating your feet, sending some grounding energy down into Mother Earth and feeling that earth energy, that gravitational pull coming up, holding you here, anchoring you here. As you connect with the earth, in your mind's eye, imagine it shrinking so that you are standing on the earth, making it smaller and smaller, seeing it like a globe in the classroom you were once in, almost like a hologram of the earth under your feet, becoming kind of a magic carpet. It's helping you stay present and grounded to the earth as you start levitating, taking that earth with you into the heavens, floating up through the room. You're transparent, you're grounded, going up and up through the misty clouds, to the beautiful, bright blue sky, or the starry night. Maybe you're just above the clouds, maybe you're in space. Go ahead and create a comforting, magical scene for yourself. Look down and make sure you're still on that earth. Make sure your heart is still open. And now we're going to welcome in your council of light. Only welcome in those that you wish to collaborate with around your magic. Not everyone in spirit is invited to this space, to your divine council. You can be empowered as you consciously choose who to invite into this space. They may be loved ones past, they may be the energy of elements or animals, they may be angels that you know or don't know, spirits and guides, ascended masters. Go ahead and take a moment to welcome in your council of light. See them forming a circle around you, not so close to you where it's impacting your breathing, restricting you in any way. Just the right distance where you are so lit up and enjoying their presence, but not feeling claustrophobic at all in this space. And as more beings, energies come into this council, it grows bigger and bigger. You may see it ripple out with a circle around a circle around a circle, or just the circle expanding. You do not need to know everyone that's present by name. You might just recognize them by their energy, their color, their light, or not recognize them, but know they are safe. If there's anything that does not feel safe in this moment, I invite you to adjust, being clear in your boundaries and your intentions. Okay. Everyone that is still here is your council of light. As you discover your magic, There are a lot of different energies around you, and to hear all of their words, all of their messages, which may be different, could be overwhelming. So, we are going to set the very clear intention that this entire council around you comes together with one singular voice, one collective message, that this message is what is in you, aligned with your heart of hearts and your highest good, what is aligned with your purpose that you can wrap your mind around and be excited about. And that is not going to instantly cause you any doubt, but that is going to bring you peace and ease, and you will know this message is truth. We would like a collective message that will resonate with the core of who you are, your desires, your purpose, your heart. Now ask this council around you to speak clearly in one collective voice, one answer, and tell you about your magic. We ask the council, what makes me special? We ask, how do I nurture others? How do I make others feel when I'm in my most empowered and aligned space? How do I make those around me feel? What am I able to help others with? How am I meant to be of service in this world? Again, as we let go of any doubts, of any self criticism, open ourselves completely to receive the message. We ask our teams to tell us about our magic, why we are here. And now let's ask if one member of this council to step forward, speaking for the collective, for the council, step forward into your space, reaching out a hand, somehow touching you in the room you're in this magical space between the heavens and the earth, the right here and the there, vision in your mind and the reality. Choose one member or allow space for one member of your council to step forward and gift you a word that reflects what's inside of you. And if there's any other questions you have for this member of your council, ask now and receive the answer. And now we thank the council. We send them our gratitude, knowing we can come back and connect, remembering that we're not supposed to do it alone, that you have available to you your spiritual team at all times. Take with you what resonates from this conversation. Start waking up your body, fluttering your eyes open, your fingers and your toes. You come back into the moment, jotting down what you learned about your magic. Maybe you're left with more questions about it, and that's okay too. That's being in a place of questioning is actually really great because questions lead to clarity, lead to reflection. So if you have more questions, more write those down. If you're confused about anything, write down, what did this mean? What else do I need to know about this? So just anything that helps you know your magic, jot down. And if you're comfortable and want to put it in the chat, if you do know about your more of your magic, if this was helpful to you, please let us know. Yes, this is interesting. Someone wrote into me that they received a message about their magic that they hadn't thought of, but it's interesting because it's what others have often said they see in them. Yeah, sometimes we'll figure out or we'll have these full circle moments and it's things that people maybe pointed out or noticed about us when we were even kids. And it's like, whoa, this magic really has always been there. Beautiful. Mm. What's so amazing about learning about your magic is that you're going to see where in your life you're using that, and probably you feel more comfortable and confident in those relationships and those connections. And if you're not using them, then that's going to show you what's misaligned. And what I've noticed, this is just interesting. So I know everyone's still writing a bit, so I'm going to go off on a bit of a tangent. I've been learning a lot over the last few months about like attachment styles and relationships, if anyone's familiar with them. And what's so interesting about it is that I realized so with attachment styles, there's either secure attachments or there's insecure attachments, and there's different types of insecure attachment styles. What, but the goal is obviously we want to be secure, right? In our relationships, in our workplace, or whatever it might be. But what I've realized is areas that I'm insecure, it is easy to be in my shadow, which is not in my magic, where instead of making people feel clear, confident, and like moving forward with their aligned action, like it's just the opposite about that. It's all fuddled up, no clarity in that. There's like not feeling confident. It's like I'm in the shadow when I'm insecure and of like, I don't know how to move forward. There's none of that. Um, and when I'm secure in my work and with my clients, in my relationships with others, with family members or friends or partner, when I'm secure, then that magic is part of it, shows up in those relationships, in those connections. So there's something about the more secure we feel, the more we're able to do our magic. And so that perfectly is integrated in the idea of unblocking the magic, because a lot of the things that are blocking us are making us feel insecure. So it's no wonder that you're not doing things and finding the gifts that tap into your magic and that spread it out into the world if you're not feeling secure. And so we have to, at the same time as unblocking this and discovering our magic, is find ways to feel more secure so that we can tap into that and we can hold that space and we can be that light. I'm wondering if that connects with anybody. That's really has connected with me so much. Oh, awesome, Krista. Yes. Krista said she got the book Attached, which is by Amir Levine, and I can't think of the other person. There's two co-authors, but yeah, so awesome about the attachment styles. But it's really interesting. It obviously won't go into what I'm talking about now, but it's interesting the more you learn about being secure and insecure and seeing areas where you're insecure. Those are going to be areas where you're more disconnected from your magic. And we need to do them together. We're not going to get secure if we're not using our magic and then all of a sudden we can use it. We need to work on feeling secure for ourselves and still honoring what our magic is and knowing what it is. And it's going to be kind of this uh, alignment check for you. Once you know your magic, it's like, okay, you check in. Are you in your magic? Now you know your magic. At least you have a word. You have something that connects you from what you thought of logically, what spirit just gifted you, and filled in some blanks. You're getting a picture of what your magic is. Maybe you don't have this perfect 3-point bullet point yet, right? But this is a new concept for a lot of us. So you're getting there. We're getting there. Let's keep going. If you go into the Lightworker Circle, we will get there a lot quicker. But either way, you're going to get there. I know it because your wheels are spinning. So now you have sort of a picture forming around what your magic is. You're a little more clear about it. Hopefully we can all agree that a little more clarity, if not a lot more. So the alignment check is, am I in my magic? Am I serving in this way? Am I feeling these things? Am I holding a space for others to feel this way in my relationship with my family, in my work? If you are, amazing. Yes, let's celebrate that. If not, what is misaligned? What's the disconnect? Is it because you do not have the tools? Because see, remember, the gifts, the tools are to help us get to express the magic, right? To help us get there. Or is it a mismatch? Is that relationships, job not aligned with you and your magic? So that is going to be interesting to note as well. And if you have an idea of what your magic is, now we're going to say, what gifts, tools do you already have, or do you want to develop, or do you think might exist out there that are going to help you to express that and be of service to others and to the world and be in your purpose? What gifts and tools do you have access to or want to learn about? And if you came up with 0 things right there, I'm going to just tell you what Spirit just told me is that you are sensitive, you are an empath. You wouldn't be here if you weren't. And one of your gifts tools is holding space for others, listening. It's not always, it's not always what you say or what you do, but you are a space holder. And so, and also, yes, I would call intuition a tool. I would use intuition as a tool. So, what gifts tools do you have? You are a space holder. That's something, again, we're going to talk about in the Lightworker Circle. Is we're going to, what does it mean to hold space? How can I hold space without taking on everyone's emotional and physical pain and stuff? How can I safely hold space for others and take care of myself so I'm not drained by trying to work my magic? And instead, I am lit up in it, inspired in it. Because what we're going to find is as we get out there and start sharing our magic, sharing gifts so that we can help people with what we're supposed to be there here for is our magic, is that when we're out there doing it, we're going to really need some protection around ourselves and boundaries, and things are going to come up that are going to make us feel insecure. And the more strength we have in our space holding and the more secure we are, the stronger we're going to be and the more sustainable these things are. Because a lot of times people block their magic and separate themselves for their gifts because it's not serving them, because they don't have those boundaries, that protection, those grounding practices and stuff, and don't know proper healthy ways to hold space. And so purposefully separate ourselves from our gifts, from our intuition, right? From all these tools and using them. And what that does is it makes it so that we don't have the pathways to be in our magic with, as many people. So you are a space holder. Okay. Now let's talk about our blocks a little bit more going into them. If anybody has questions, definitely please put them in the chat. I'm definitely up for any questions that are coming up. So, I do want to talk about blocks and then see how we can, and some unblocks. Is that a word? Unblock? Holy. Oh my. The Yeti works. Oh, oh my. Whew. Okay. Yeti works. Okay. We're starting to see what our magic is. We're starting to be curious about what some of our gifts and tools are. You don't have them all figured out. We said this at the beginning. That's okay. One of my things is helping people get clear about their gifts and magic. So again, we're going to do that in the Lightworker Circle, another plug. So hopefully we'll get to work together there, if that's something that is important to you and that you're really curious about. But let's talk about the blocks. I'm going to start your list of what you think your blocks are. And I'm going to give some maybe examples here, but put them in the chat because we'll go into the ones that most of you are saying, like, yes, this is my thing. Okay. So blocks to sharing your gifts, which therefore are blocks to being in your magic, right? But we're going to go to the gifts, is I don't know what they are. Because the magic is easier for us. It's like, because that's who you naturally are. That's your purpose. But the gift, again, is where we get all fuddled up about it. So what are the blocks to sharing your gifts? I don't know what they are. Lack of confidence, self-doubt, not seeing all the steps, not seeing the full path. You're prioritizing, you know what they are, but you're blocked to using them because you have other priorities. Um, are you waiting until, like, I don't know if anyone relates, but like you wait till you're going to wait till rock bottom to do something differently? Like, does anybody wait for that? Like, wait until you literally get pushed off the ledge and like have to do them. So you're just like waiting, or you're waiting to be discovered. So I'm going to say, this is your gift. This is how to do it. You're waiting for that just like big download. Like, I know that I must have a gift. There must be a gift or a tool that's for me. Or here's another waiting. Are you waiting to have all your shit together in every other area of your life to move forward with this? Yeah, a lot of us do that one. Spirit gave me a big message around that one recently, which is you have to get your shit together at the same time of sharing your gifts. Both. It's because you're never gonna have your shit together. I'm like, thanks, guys. But not all the way. We're always going to be getting our shit together. That's like this, what we're here for, right? So we're going to always be doing that. It's like the most human thing ever. So they're like, you have to be sharing your gifts while you get your shit together. What about imposter syndrome or comparing yourself to others? And it's like, well, maybe I have this, but look at this person doing it. That's their gift. Like, who am I? So comparison or imposter syndrome. So list out some of, or what else? I mean, there's more. Those are just the ones that I had jotted down that I've personally known. I've personally known all of the ones that I said. So those are mine, or were mine. Yes, fear of others' judgments, confusion about what to offer, struggling in the balance, waiting for the rock bottom. Yeah. Imposter syndrome, discounted. Can you specify? Is it discounted, like discounting the gifts? Like they're not having that much faith in them or belief? Like they're not as important or valuable or special? Which also could be things lack of clarity. Yes. Feel overwhelmed. Yes. Yes. These are good. Blocks around money. Uh-huh. Yes. Fear of rejection. Also, what about fear of like being seen? It's like that's really vulnerable. Like, oh, if I'm going to do this and I'm going to put time, effort, energy into sharing gifts and exploring them, I'm going to have to let people know I'm doing this. And this is like who I really am. It's not that vulnerable to show people what this idea of yourself that fits in the most, that's most pleasing. That's not that vulnerable. It's also not that rewarding. It's not that vulnerable, right? But to show people who you really are. And then, because if you get rejected for somebody you're not, you're like, okay, they don't know me anyway. But you get rejected for like who you are, like that can hit in a different way. Like, oh, I actually let this person see me, and then they fucked me over, or they didn't like it. Like, oh, like that's really vulnerable. For me, that's very vulnerable. So yeah, the vulnerability, being just kind of like being taken advantage of. Okay. Fear of being seen. Time, right? Having these other priorities, comparison, uncertain how things weave together, afraid of what the outside world will think. Yeah. All right. So we all connect and relate to these. All right. Here's what's coming up for me. All of these blocks, they're valid. It's really what you feel. I'm not going to say, that you shouldn't feel this way, because I've been blocked by these things too. But what I can say is that when we're not aware of them, it's really hard to move forward when we have all these blocks, but we're not aware of them. So I'm proud of you for your awareness, because awareness is a big first step, but awareness is not enough. You also have to have the tools. We also have to start working through this. So just like you know what your magic is, well, okay, well, how am I going to share it? How am I going to express it? So there's this other step. But the awareness is huge, because if you don't have the awareness, if you don't have the clarity, then we're really stuck. We all know what that one is. So the clarity is so helpful. So you're getting clear. Maybe you don't have clarity yet around how to unblock this, how to move past it, what the gift is, but having clarity around the block is huge, because some of this right away is going to be which of these blocks are really real and really blocks that you need to work through, and which ones are kind of perceived, or you've been hanging on to them for so long. Maybe it's not really a block as much. Like maybe being seen was more of a block 10 years ago, but now it's like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but it's not a block anymore. Like, I don't take it as personally. I'm not as fearful. So let's like look through our list a little bit. And is there anything that really that is more of a perceived block for you than a real block that you don't really need to do the work on? Is there anything like that? Because that would just be great, right? We might be able to literally just cross something off the list. Oh, hello. That will be great. Because some of this is going to reflect your past self and not your current self. Because you've already been doing some work. If you're here, this isn't your first rodeo. You've already been doing a little bit of work. He who burns his mouth blows his coffee. Let us know if you were able to cross anything off your list as a perceived block, as opposed to a real one. Like maybe, oh, I don't have time. It's like, yeah, that's just something I always say, but I find time for everything else that doesn't serve me. So maybe I do actually have time. So something like that. Are there any that you're just letting go of in this moment? I would love to know, because I will be so fucking excited. Oh my gosh. I feel like instead of plugging my own program, I should just plug the Yeti. You guys, this is really hot. It's from a long time ago. Wow, Shauna crossed off 3 of 5. Mama! Let's celebrate that. That's huge. That is huge. Anyone else crossed anything off? Yeah, those old beliefs. Yes, crossed off lack of confidence. Screw that. I'm confident now. And also, what you know about confidence, I think, is also what helps you, because you've been here before with me on confidence. And so I'm just going to say it, because we can cross confidence off the list because it doesn't have to be a block for any of us. And this is why. Because when you logically understand what confidence is and how you get there, we're going to just cross this off our list. You are not supposed to be confident in something you haven't done. For some reason, I don't know where this came from, we have been telling ourselves, or we used to, like Jessica's no longer doing this, but we used to tell ourselves we need confidence so that we can take action. It goes confidence, action. That is not the order of operations. That doesn't even make logical sense. So our brain tricked us to try to protect us. It's this whole ego and a bully thing. If we keep working together, we'll go into that more. Come into the Lightworker Circle. We'll really get into that self-talk so that you can move forward. But I like this weaving it in thing. But that's not the order of operations. The order of operations is action and then confidence. It is not confidence and action. And so your logical brain needs to look at your list and saying, I'm blocked by sharing my gifts because I don't have confidence, and saying, that's a perceived block, because you can't get confident in sharing your gifts if you don't first do them. Like I said, there are tools that I'm going to share with you in the Lightworker Circle. Why do I feel like I have to do a really cheesy wink every time, because I'm still getting comfortable sharing it, guys. I'll get better. That's how it works. I'll get more confident and weaving it in, but this is new for me. And so I'm being a little weird and awkward. Okay. Perfect example. That's how it works. But will I get more confident about it? Yes. By the end, maybe I won't be doing that. Who knows? Or it might be not the next call, but 2 calls down the road or 5 calls down the road. I don't know how long it's going to take. I have to go at my own pace. I can't be comparing myself to anyone else's pace because that is fucking exhausting. It's not realistic. It's not reasonable. We all have different experiences, supports, other priorities, and things in our life. So we all are going to have different paces of moving forward. And we need to have compassion with ourselves for that and not put all this pressure. We cannot be confident in something we haven't done. As I always like to say, unless you're like a narcissist, because do you ever see anybody that's like confident for no reason? That's really not that great of a quality. We're not like, oh my God, look at this person confident for no fucking reason. Like, oh, I wish I was that. But we're blocked because we're not that. But you don't want to be that. You want to be confident authentically because you showed up, because you practiced, because you found your own way of doing something. If you're going to be confident before the action, it means that you are going to be in your mind mimicking someone else that you've seen do it. And it's not real. That's not you. That's not your life. So that's called audacity. Yes. Yes. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So I want us to call self-confidence because that's literally not how it works. You can't be confident. You have to show up and do the gift. Also, we grow in the gifts. It's not like we're just confident because we do it more and more. That doesn't just make us confident. We have to like do it in a safe place. We have to really open ourselves up and work on our own inner journey and practice and have trial and work on it. So it takes like us putting really intention into things too. Like really showing up and practicing incorporating these things, getting support on these things. Also, how are we going to just figure out how to do something on our own and then just be confident? It's really helpful to have support. Just like maybe you weren't that confident in figuring out what your magic was when you were just like right here trying to do it. But then what'd you do? You collaborated with spirit. I think you were a little more confident in what your magic was when it wasn't all on you to figure it out. That's going to be the same with figuring out your gifts. When you're all trying to figure it out here, oh my God, you're so blocked up there. Our mind is like the most incredible tool. So I don't want to discount it. It's so powerful, but it's constantly casting spells and they're not all aligned to what you want. So we need to be aware and like shut that shit down when we need to and have somewhere else to go. Because then that's going to help us see what actually resonated. It wasn't like you were just gifted, this is your magic. And you're like, oh yeah, you tried that on. You're like, wait, this actually feels good. But we need that support. We're not supposed to do it alone. Okay. So confidence. Another thing, who put self-doubt on their list? Because that's kind of like confidence, but it's not like confidence, because confidence is actually, you can become confident in something. You can do something, show up in a safe way. The Lightworker Circle, you practice sharing gifts with people. Your gifts can change. You get more confident in sharing your gifts when you share them by taking action, by seeing what resonates with people, by seeing what feels good when you do it, and having a safe place that doesn't require perfection, where they're like, I know you're practicing this and I'm going to be a safe place for you to practice and figure out your gifts. It gets to be about you, where a lot of times when you think about sharing our gifts, it's about the other person and how they're going to perceive it. In the Lightworker Circle, sharing your gifts gets to be about you and figuring them out, which is very exciting, a way to explore it. But so that you're going to figure out what lights you up, what resonates with the other person, how you're infusing your magic. You can try out all different tools. You can try out holding space for one person. You can try out holding space for multiple people or a group. But with self-doubt, that's not the same. You're not going to show up and just magically cultivate esteem, right? Or magically not have self-doubt. Confidence is cultivated. You show action leads to confidence. Confidence is cultivated. Self-doubt is fucking human. Everyone has it. Again, if someone doesn't have self-doubt, what do we call that? Audacity. So that's going to always be there. I still have self-doubt, but it becomes less of a block because it's like, okay, it's here. And when I'm more aligned with something, when it's more about aligned with my magic, where it's more something that would be me and my authentic voice doing my truth, why I'm in here, the self-doubt actually gets louder. It's this whole perfection, or not perfection, protection mechanism um, of the ego, of the mind. But now when I feel the self-doubt, it's not it can be a block, but it doesn't have to be, because it's something that's always going to be there. For me, it's kind of a compass almost, because I think about doing something, and it's not just resistance because I don't want to do it, but it's self-doubt, and all of a sudden I get really critical in my mind and start being like, oh, who do you think you are? Why can you do that? Comparing, oh, but they do it better, but this is her lane, but oh, who do I think I am? Or I don't want this person to think I'm copying, or what are they going to think? Or, and you just start going spiraling. That is, you needs to be a trigger moment for you to say, okay, this is because I'm onto something. This is because this is something that's for me. Because if you're just like doing something that's not that aligned, the self-doubt isn't so intense, right? It just isn't. Maybe there's a little bit, maybe you're working on, feeling, having more self-esteem, or showing up and or using your voice, and there's things you're working on, but this is different when it comes to the gifts. And that's why I will see it so much as a block, but it's a normal part of it. It's actually showing you and highlighting your truth. Oh my God, is that crazy? And so, yeah, it's truth, it's real, but it's not like the confidence. It's going to keep being there. So, do we say because I have self doubt, I'm never going to move forward? Well, then that's it, because that's going to be there. So, you're saying I'm never going to move forward because that's going to be there if it's something aligned. That is the most human, real facts thing. So, we have to say, I'm going to recognize the fear. I'm going to recognize the self-doubt, and I am going to find whatever little morsel of light of courage to do it anyway. And here's the amazing part of it that I love holding space for. That's my tool. Is what really helps the self-doubt is when we're not doing it alone. When we have a partner, when we're collaborating with spirit, because then it's not all on us. And we can borrow, lean into, embrace spirit's belief in us, which is, oh my God, I'm almost about to cry because it's so much belief. It's only belief. They do not have doubt about your ability to manifest the shit, to go forward, to be magical, to use your gifts. They just believe in you unconditionally, endlessly, infinitely. And so it's like, okay, I'm scared about this. I have fear. I have doubt because I'm really onto something, but I don't have to do it alone. And that's why, even though I'm nervous, if I let the doubt come, I would never do this because I'm so nervous. I get really uncomfortable, but I'm like, I tell myself every time, I'm not doing this alone. Spirit's with me. Like everything, when I plan this call out, I sit down, I'm at a blank piece of paper. I'm like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, Spirit, let's do this together. This isn't me. This is us. What do we need to talk about today? And so that's what helps it, so that I'm not so foggy by the doubt and so stuck. Yeah, spirit is always with you. Yeah, they are. Okay, so the self-doubt might be a block you put down, but it's if you know what, you can choose for it not to be, because we are not going to unblock doubt by action. But we do have mindset tools and reframes and things to not let it have so much power over us, which everyone knows when we work together, mindset work and reframes is going to be a big part of that. So, all right, what else was on it? I don't know what they are. You know what? They change. What's interesting is the tools that I use today are different than the tools that I used when I started in this career. I used to think it was, because you know what I did? I used to think it was all about the tools, that that people wanted to work with me because of the tool. So I advertised the tools. I told people about the tools. This is my tool. And it was like a lot harder to attract people to me, because I was trying to attract them to a method, to a tool, not to what actually is going to happen when we work together. And I have more confidence. Guess what? I have more confidence in my magic than I do my tools. So much more. I'm still building confidence in my tools. But my magic, I trust that. The tools I'm learning. And I'm going to I, of course, get better. The more you do something, you get better at it. It gets easier. You have less resistance. But my magic, I'm like, holy shit, that's actually it. It just resonates. And so I love holding up the mirror and showing people their magic. So if you don't know yours yet, like, let's talk, because that's, once you know that, things can fall in place a little more easily. All right. Everybody who's waiting, we were waiting for different reasons, right? Waiting to have our shit together. We kind of talked about that. Well, if you want to have that be your block, it's going to be your block forever. You're never going to have all your shit together, right? It's just like, and you don't need to. It just doesn't make sense. It's not like you clean your house once and your house is clean. Um, or you have a routine for a full year of your life. So now you have the routine forever. Like, even if you have something, a habit you're trying to create for a longer period of time, it doesn't mean that you just have it. We're constantly working at ourself and on our own self-development journey. And our things and our desires and our environment and our resources and our limitations are real. Those shift. And so we make adjustments, we accommodate. What used to help us feel like we had stuff together doesn't feel like it. And even when we look back and it's like, oh, I really had my shit together, then did you? No, we never do. So we're always working at that. And anyone that does or says they are, and that's the place that they're helping people from, that's not somebody who I want to help me, because I don't relate to that. I cannot have a mentor that is telling me they have their shit together. That is so unrelatable, because that's not what I'm even going for. I'm literally not even, that's not even my goal in life. So that does not resonate. So if you want somebody who doesn't have their shit together, come work with me. But no, I mean, I'm honest about it. And I think it's part of the process. I think we're always getting it together. One of the big blocks that I didn't share, but I feel like let's just skip to actually right now, is this idea that before sharing your gifts, you need to have like mastered it. So I like to use this example of like the mountain. So we're on the bottom of the mountain and we look at the top, and that's like us like mastering our gifts. And we're like, oh, I can't share my gifts, use my tools, which is therefore not serving the world with my magic until I'm at the top of this mountain, which is very freaking overwhelming. But you can't master your tools unless you're actually on the mountain, which is helping people. So that's kind of tricky. That's a catch 22. So already, right, we're seeing that we actually have to do it in order to master our gifts. We have to use them. You are not going to master it by thinking about how all your self-doubt and your lack of confidence, or even thinking about the tool or just using it for yourself. You have to use these with other people. This is about being in service, our magic, right? We're all here to be in service. It's about being connected. So, but then we think, okay, but who's going to want me to help them if I'm just like somewhere on the mountain with them and out at the top? Everybody, because again, I don't want to work with someone who's at the top of the mountain. I've already mastered everything. I'm an expert. I've got all my shit together, because that I don't relate to that. I would rather someone, if I'm at the bottom of the mountain, all right, this is a mountain, it's something I'm trying to work with. And somebody with the tool is at the top of the mountain and they're shouting down directions to me. Okay, turn right, turn left. That I feel very disconnected from that. I don't trust that process. I don't want to blindly just follow someone like, okay, these are the steps. I want someone to hold my hand. And I'm kind of like a scared, sensitive person. I want someone to hold my hand and help me. I'm fragile up the mountain. So I need them to be like at my level, just a little bit higher. They do not need to be at the top of the mountain for me. And I hire a lot of coaches. I do a lot of the programs that I do. Like, it's important to me. And I do not look for perfection. Yet, how much time did I spend holding myself to this level that I held no one else to? And why do we do that? It's just being human again. It's okay. We all do it. We get that. But we're holding ourselves to this level of perfection so that people will trust us and work with us and invest in us, and we get to use our tools to help them navigate. But we're literally like, it's clearly you're not holding me to perfection. That's hilarious. So I think you actually get it. Because I am not perfect. But I'm on the mountain. And that's all that needs to be from you. And that actually makes people feel safer. Would you rather me being like, I have everything together, all my laundry's done, my everything's perfect, my gut health is amazing, all my routines, I'm super scheduled, or be like, I'm literally a real person trying to figure it out, but guess what? I have magic and I have gifts and I'm here with you. Yes, Francie, I just need a shower. Everything's in my shower. Y'all will learn the more we connect. Yes, I'm fresh out of one today. So probably why I'm on fire. Yes. So you don't hold other people to the standard. And so is that a real block or is that a perceived block? Because it's literally not a standard that you hold anybody else to in your life of being perfect, of having it all figured out. Also, it's illogical if someone had perfected and was expert in something without doing the thing, I would not trust them if they didn't work their way up in some sense. Everyone starts somewhere. And if you're at the beginning and you're comparing yourself to someone who has been using this tool, then that's not realistic either. Because they started somewhere, they had to practice. Also, oh, I lost my track. I saw a message from it. Okay. Do we need training certificates to offer services? If you want them, or if you live somewhere where it's regulated, you don't live somewhere where it's regulated to do your services. And I don't think anywhere like coaching, for example, it is not regulated by like a professional board as if like hands-on massage therapy that I'm certified in would be. Energy work is not, there's no like professional regulatory board at the top in this country, at least for everyone in the US. I don't know about other places. The states don't have those. And therefore, a lot of people where you're seeing certifications are giving them, they're just like making up certification programs. There's no like level, there's no standardized level of it. So a lot of people are just creating these programs and these courses. So no, you do not need to. And but if you need it, then you need it. If you need it, like someone on here was like, want to legitimize themselves as a business, and you can operate as an independent contractor without having an LLC, and you can have a real business, but that was a block. So they went and got an LLC, legitimized as a business, and then that gave them like, okay, now I can. So if it's something that's important to you, it's important to you. Is it required? No. Do people care about it? Also, no, they don't, because this is where we get blocked up. We think people care about the letters behind our name, our tools, our modalities, our gifts. They don't. They care about the magic. And that's why it's just this block. No one cares how I'm going to help them feel. I mean, they care, but that's not, they're not hung up on that. If I'm going to help you feel more clear, confident, and moving forward in a aligned way into happiness, joy, and success, like sign me up. It's not like, okay, well, what's the exact formula? Or what says that you can do that? And for me personally, I care about people who who journeyed up the mountain, who struggled, who made mistakes, who get how I feel and how I felt and where I've been, and have experiences and learn from experience. Like my nanny ended up with this top amazing job. She got love you, nanny. She's like, don't, I don't want to muddle it, I always want to get it right with her. But she ended up getting like recognized by the US Marshals. She had the top job, US district courts, everything. Didn't even finish high school. Nobody cared because She showed up, did the work, did good work, learned from experience. It was never a thing. So, yes, not all MDs are good doctors, right? But what we do learn in this, in the Lightworker Circle and in my crafting space that is after that, where it like becomes more of a business offering, if anyone wants to go that way. Just the Lightworker Circle, it can be because you want to go into a business, or it can be because you want to embrace these gifts and gain confidence so that you can just be in your magic, in your relationships, in the world, in your confidence. And then the business is another course beyond that. So if you want to make it a business, but it's like we have to go in order. We have to navigate up the mountain. But one of the things, oh my goodness, just a real moment. Okay. I thank you, Dennis, triggering me with, because the all MDs are good doctors was what brought this to me, is it's very important that we stay in our scope of practice. That, we have disclaimers to not only keep others safe, but to keep us safe and protected, but also to say, these are the limitations that I am in. So, where we stay in our role. So that's very important. And that's something that we talk about in the Lightworker Circle also, because that makes everybody feel and be not just more comfortable, but that's how we stay safe and we keep others safe from us. Because sometimes when we're intuitive, we could be getting information that's saying that isn't really our job or our role to express. And so these are all ways to keep us and others safe and protected that we'll learn. So you stay in your scope of practice. And that's really good to know, because I've seen a lot of people in similar industries to me who don't stay in that, and who are out there like giving like this medical advice and stuff like that. And that's like kind of scary. That's scary to me. If you don't say, this is just an intuition coming through, I don't know what this means, go get this checked up by a different professional. If you're like, this is it, this is facts, it's how you express yourself is important. Like, for example, I've gotten, there's people like intuitives that have given me a vision. And instead of saying, this is one possibility that I'm seeing that Spirit's showing me, it's that this has to be the way. And so if you don't do this, you're fucking up, you're doing something wrong. But I don't believe that's how it works. And that wasn't the way that I was being led. So I was like, okay, this vision was coming up to teach me something, to strengthen me trusting my own intuition first, or whatever it might be. So not everyone's going to resonate. One of the blocks was, how are people going to perceive what I say? Your job is to say, because I say it doesn't make it truth, how does this resonate with you? You get to help them as a space holder navigate the messages and what's coming through with your gifts, because part of your magic isn't, what's that saying, like, teach a man to fish, right? It's not just like, okay, here's the fish. We want to help them. Okay, I hope this is helping. Okay. Were there any other blocks that we really wanted to go into? Some of the ways. So, the block of imposter syndrome was kind of what we were just talking about with the certifications and things like that. And that's why we need to actually show up and do the work and practice our tools in a safe place, because otherwise you're kind of right to feel imposter syndrome in some of these things, of just saying, oh, here's my tool that I've never really used before. But so it's really good to have a place to practice. So for me with coaching, I went to a healing arts center where I learned all different techniques, which are the tools that I use in, my coaching, what's more just guiding, or my mentoring, but all these tools, but it wasn't like a coaching program. And I've done lots of different classes and courses. I've actually done coaching program courses and certificates, but it was after I'd already been doing it. It was just to learn more. It was continuing education for me, but I didn't do it to get started. for me, I did what we're doing in the Lightworker Circle, which is I held space for free for others so I could figure out how to do it, what it looked like, how it felt, what's right for me, what's not right for me, what's aligned, what's not. And it was a technique that I had learned from the Healing Arts Center, of where that's just for the hands-on work or the energy work. It was, you had to practice it. You had to have someone, and then they gave you feedback, which we do in the Lightworker Circle. And then you learn from it. It also really helps you with your confidence when you're getting some beautiful feedback back. It's like, oh, this is how I'm perceived. And you're not just all in your head trying to figure out, what did they think? Did this resonate? Am I good at this? Is this a talent that I should be exploring? You actually get on paper those words of affirmation, that confirmation back to you, which, if you are going into it with business, is really cool, because then you have all these feedback, all these testimonials that you can use to share. Hey, I do know what I'm doing. I've done this before and people liked it and I lit up in it. So that's really cool if you're going to a business. But I put myself through, what's interesting, someone that I coached for free when I was learning to be a coach. So I offered free coaching in an energetic exchange of feedback and for giving me the practice, is still a paying client of mine. And that was like 2013. So that's pretty cool. And helps me feel confident at what I'm doing, or secure in it. So you just have to start somewhere. Just have to get started, and we can't wait to get started until we have it figured out, because you can only figure it out by the getting started and then by the doing it. Some of the things I jotted down for unblock. So if you want to start an unblock section, so we've been kind of dissecting some of the blocks, but here's an unblock section, is don't try to do it solo. You get unblocked by being supported, by having resources and supportive people to do this with you. Mindset is a huge way to get unblocked. The self-talk, the reframes, the mindset work, huge way to get past the blocks. Logic and intuition, I wrote down and kind of shared that a little bit at the beginning. It's just, I really do think, for me to move forward with anything, I want it to like feel right and also make sense. I like things to be like intuitive, but also logical. And it doesn't mean that everything that I share with people in my tools always makes sense. But for me, in moving past my blocks, I can get to a place where, like, how a lot of these tools that I shared to help you move through the blocks were literally just logic. Okay, this doesn't make sense. So for me, where the logic meets the intuition is a sweet spot for moving past the blocks. And again, from full circle from the beginning, is magic over gifts. Lean into your magic. The gift is the tool. The magic is the superpower. The tool isn't the superpower. What it does for people, the service that it provides, the superpower. So your superpower, I don't think it's the tool. I think it's the magic. Does anyone have any questions about any of this, or any block that you had that you are like, okay, what do you want to say about this block in particular, or just any questions about the info today? Yes, taking the first step, very powerful. Getting rid of the all or nothing. As you know, I resonate with that so much as an all or nothing person. I resonate with that so much, just as getting started. If the first step anyone wants to take of getting started is to be in a safe place where we actually get to practice sharing our tools and gifts with others who are holding a safe space. I would love to talk to you more about the Lightworker Circle. It's on my website. You can get there through lightworkerrising.com or sarahsolman.com. There's a tab at the top that says Lightworker Circle. Click on it and you can read about it, or message me, or let's talk I want to know what questions you have about it. Um, if you're on the fence or you think maybe this is right for me, is it really? I would be super happy to discuss. We start Monday evening, March 13th, which 13 is such a great number. So we start that evening. We have 2 calls a month, a more like everyone share and talk and um, move through resistance and blocks and let's show each other magic call. And then we'll have one where we really go into tools about holding space and sharing gifts and figuring out what our gifts are. Another thing that's really cool that we do there is help you understand how these gifts work a little bit more. Because when you understand them, you can go deeper into them. For me, that really, really helped me from, okay, just here's a reading or here's this, I would get these visions. But when I figured out what they meant and how they were this collective message from spirit coming together to give me one message, and it was this possibility, and I started understanding it more, it started flowing to me more. I could use it more. It wasn't so just randomly, I would have a download, but I can like tap into it now. And that took me years to get to where I just was, because it used to be, and what I have a magical family, and it was like, oh, you don't need to know how your gifts work. You just, or how to tap into your magic. It just does. And for me, as the rebel, I question everything. I'm like, really, does it? And the more I started understanding, the more that it grew and the more confident I felt. When you understand something, you can grow more confident in it of like, oh, it's just there. I don't know how it works. So understanding gifts, I think, really helps us become more confident in them because we know how they work, if we know how to tap into them, if we know how to be intentional with them, intentional with holding space, that all helps. So we do an exchange each month where you're going to hold space for someone and then someone else. So it's not, me holding space for Jessica and Jessica holding space for me. I'll hold space for Jessica. Jessica will hold space for Jen. Jen will hold space for Dennis. So it's kind of like this circle so that you just really get to be in the space holder hat with this specific person for that month. And if you want to go all out and you want to do more than one person a month, we have opportunities to do that. You get lots of feedback, lots of practice, but you'll have a minimum commitment of holding space for one person. Also, you'll have a one-on-one with me where I'm going to share my vision for you about using your gifts and reflect to you what I see or what spirit is saying to me is your magic to help you get more clear. I can help you understand your gifts on those if you already know those things. And then there's also going to be a pre-recorded message that's going to be, similar to that of me tapping in and sharing like an energy reading for you. And then the call is going to be, some tweaking, going deeper, depending on which one you do first. One of them will tweak it, and one of them will like, here's the meat, something like that. So that is the program. And then you get this amazing feedback. It's really cool having the low pressure space of sharing gifts with somebody who's like, hey, I'm here so that you can practice your gift, rather than like, I'm wanting to hear from someone, or I'm wanting to get this, or this is, it's like about me, when you like show up to have a session with somebody's holding space for you that is really encouraging you, that wants you to like understand your gifts and use them. And it's really, really safe because of that. And just everybody's beautiful who does it. A lot of you already signed up. So I'm really excited about what we have coming up together. But yeah, overall, from today, what I want you to take away from this is that in unblocking your magic is to accept that the gift is not the magic. Start opening yourself to clarity around what your magic is, and then start thinking about what gifts, tools are going to help you access that and share that and spread that and be of service. And it's just knowing that you're capable, and you just to get started. And if there's more blocks that came up that we didn't discuss that you're curious about, nobody wrote question in, but I love talking about blocks, so feel free to reach out to me if you have questions about the Lightworker Circle. Oh, there's a scholarship opportunity. if anybody is like, I want to be in the Lightworker Circle, but finances are an issue, I do give away a full scholarship to this program. And it's very simple on how to apply. If you find any post on our Lightworker Rising Facebook page or on my personal page or my business page or Instagram, I don't know, it's probably everywhere that we're connected. And it says like giveaway scholarship post, the first line. It's really as simple as just commenting of why you want to be part of the Lightworker Circle. And I am not judged. You don't, doesn't need to be perfectly written, be from the heart. And then, it's really just like, it's like a name pull or it's a pendulum. It's something like that, but there will be a full scholarship. And so I love that. That's really important to me. For my first program that I participated in, I received a partial scholarship. So it was like a half scholarship, or no, I think it was like a 25% off or something, but it was something where I wouldn't have been able to do it. And the scholarship made it so that I could do it. And that's what changed my whole life, was participating in somebody's coaching program. So I love making that available. But there's one full scholarship, and then there will be a couple partial. There's one full. I'll do a half scholarship, and then I'll do like 2 or 3 partial, which is like a 25% off. So also we do payment plans. The full price of it is $7.99 for this 5-month journey. But we do payment plans in full. You get a bonus 5-month, 8-month. If you need more payment plans or something else worked out, or you want to do a deposit and then have smaller payments, reach out to me. We can work it out. But if it's money is the block, please do apply for the scholarship, because maybe that doesn't even need to be a block. Maybe that's another one you can just cross off the list. Yeah, as long as they really resonate with it. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Okay. That was it. Can I gift? I'm already signed up and paid. Can I gift somebody a scholarship? Yeah, of course you can. Oh, I'm so grateful for the full scholarship I received last year for the Lightworker within mentorship, and I wouldn't be here without it. Grateful for you, Sarah, and all of you that are here. Oh, I love you. I know, how amazing is that? And now we get to keep working together. Yeah. Oh, I love it. All right. Well, I don't think anyone has any questions, so I think we're gonna close this space. If you have any questions about back of house things, about payments, please slide into my DMs. And I don't even know fully what it means, but I like how it sounds. Wait, what is it? Should I not say it? I feel like maybe I'm not supposed to say it. I don't know. Just DM me. I think Jessica's face makes me think that it means something suspicious. Does it mean like a little bit what I was thinking it might mean? Okay. Just message me and we'll talk about payments, how to get you enrolled, if you have trouble navigating how to get the scholarship. But I'm up for anything. I'll try anything if it's in my boundaries, of course. I do have boundaries. Okay. Well, I love you all. Thank you for being here. This was a lot of fun. Yes, we're all blushing. We are all blushing. We're all a little red and blushing, but this was fun. Thank you all. I was really nervous at the beginning. I feel like, much more confident. And what I do love about Lightworker Circle, it's not this monologue. It's me speaking. It's you speaking. It's you taking up space, as well as anyone who knows who's in, programs with me. And so there's usually an opportunity for something like that worked in. And so we will have these magical circles as part of it, which I'm really excited about. So we can get all intimate together. But yeah, this is going to be great. Thank you. This was amazing. I appreciate it. I love you all so much. I want to thank our spiritual teams for holding the space. As we release all of the energy of this space, release all the energy that doesn't belong to us. We call back in our own energy with an inhale and an exhale. Close this space with love and with gratitude. Thank you all so much. Talk to you soon.